Rows and rows of people. So many faces. So many faces I don't recognize. Standing in that stuffy auditorium with all the students crammed into uniform lines. There were more students than I'd expected. The principal was droning on about nature and how our lives were beginning to blossom, but that we needed to make an effort if we wanted to bloom into a beautiful flower. I some nonsense like that. I wasn't paying attention. I turned to my left to see the student standing next to me. As expected, his face was foreign to me. His name unknown, his past divided from me, and his future forever unlinked to my own. A virtual chasm separates us. Chasm? While we may exist in physical proximity, there will always be an unbridgeable gap between us. That is the truth I've learned. I expand my view from the one student next to me to take in the full view of all the students in the auditorium. How the hell did I manage that? Rows and rows of people, with nameless faces. This feeling of isolation seems normal somehow, but being completely surrounded by unfamiliar people, it is reminiscent of my entrance into middle school, back when I was still so naive. Seems like so long ago my father got a promotion at work and was required to relocate to company headquarters immediately. I had just began middle school at the time. I knew almost everyone in the entire school, not just those in my class, like Tony, Bob. There were only a handful of people I hadn't met. Most people I already knew from elementary school, had known them for years. So many people, so many that I knew. But then, I moved. I had to leave everyone behind. I tried telling myself it would be exciting, going to a new place, meeting new people. It would be fun, right? That's what I told myself. But I don't think I did a good job of convincing myself. Probably because I was wrong. My eyes! I remember standing at the front of class on that day, looking into everyone's faces. So many faces. They were all talking and laughing with the other students. Sitting next to them. This is going to be fun, right? Then why did I feel so nervous and so afraid? The teacher quieted the class, and I could introduce myself. I said my name and pronounced a polite greeting. The class echoed the greeting in unison. They seemed friendly enough. I slowly made my way into the back of the room, towards the only available seat. After sitting down, I looked over to the boy sitting to the left of me. I wondered who might become good friends. Introduce myself. I'm going to introduce myself. I introduced myself, and he turned to look at me for a second, and responded with a simple, "Hello." He then turned the other way, and began talking with the boy on the other side of him. He already had a friend. I took a slow survey of the classroom. It seemed like everyone was talking with someone else. Someone else. Besides me. The teacher quieted the class once again, and began the lesson. Talking about algebra. Or something. This is just someone's house. Walking home that first day of attending my new school, I saw one of my classmates talking. They were a little ways up, so I quickened my pace to catch up and listen to what they were talking about. As I neared them and their voices became audible, I realized that they were complaining about the gym instructor. He was a rough teacher. I only had his class for one day, and I was already worn out. I joined in, complaining about all the extra laps we were forced to run today. They turned around to see who was behind them, and when they saw it was me, they seemed a little irritated. Without saying a word, they turned back around and continued walking, but this time, walking a little faster and talking a little quieter. In response, I slowed my pace, until they were gone from my view. I continued walking home, but now in silence. Walking home that afternoon became the model of my life for the next 3 years. Surrounded by laughter, I would remain silent. Surrounded by people I should know. People who should be my friends. Everyone should be my friend. I've earned the right. Yet, strangely alone. Will I ever have friends? At first I thought that maybe the problem was just I didn't know anyone's name. If I could learn everyone's name, then maybe I could make some friends. And so I determined that I would learn everyone's name, and after that, I'd finally be able to enjoy conversation with my classmates. As if things would change. I was such a fool. Learning names, what a wasted effort. I don't even like Bill. I hate Bill. After memorizing everyone in my class, I started talking to them, calling them by, asking, "How are you?" trying to start a conversation. I tried starting a conversation about anything. School, latest movies, the events of last weekend, sports. Sure, they answered my questions, but that's all they did. They didn't actually talk about anything. And they would answer in a monotone, disinterested voice. It felt more like an interrogation than a conversation. And as soon as one of their friends would come by, they would suddenly turn away from me and begin talking with them. Their blank expression was replaced with a cheerful smile, and their monotonous tone became lively again. Why? Why was it like this? I didn't understand at first. I had lots of friends at my previous school. We talked all the time. The teacher was getting quite mad at us, actually, telling us to be quiet. I don't understand why I couldn't talk to people the same way now. But then I realised I didn't know anyone. Not really. And no one knew me. It was foolish to think learning their names would be anything different. A person isn't just a name. Memorising someone's name doesn't mean you know them, Phil. Memorising names was pointless. To know someone, you have to know their past. You have to have a history. But my past, my history, was with my old friends. Good old Billy. Memories of old friends, that was all I had. Friends that were now hundreds of miles away. Everyone at school had a past of everyone else. Everyone except me. There was a void in me, a gap in my past, a hole that was impossible to fill. I didn't know anyone in the past, and no one knew me, and nothing I could do would ever change that. After I realised that, I stopped trying to talk to people. I embraced the loner. Days would go by. Long, seemingly endless days. Days without saying a word to me. Anyone. It was as if they couldn't see me. I was sad to wonder if I'd become invisible. But that's impossible, right? People don't turn invisible, it doesn't happen. Besides, I knew they could see me. Excuse me, they'd say, as if I was in their way, and no one ever sat in my seat or ran into me. If I was really invisible, people would be walking into me all the time. No, I knew I wasn't invisible. People just didn't care that I was there, so I guess I may as well have been invisible. I'm not sure when it happened, but I somehow became accustomed to this way of life, attending school in silence, walking home in silence, studying, sleeping, then repeating. It was lonely and depressing at first. At least, that's what I seem to remember. But eventually my own thoughts were enough to entertain me. There were so many things I didn't fully understand. So many things to think about, yes. For a while, I would listen to the conversation of others and analyse what was being said. With listening to so many conversations, I eventually came to the conclusion that talking was such a waste of time. I didn't know them. They weren't my friends, so what did it matter? Whatever they were talking about wasn't any of my business. And besides, it was usually about dumb stuff anyway. Who's gonna go out with who? Mr. Torino is a horrible teacher. He likes kids. Jesus. Did you see the basketball game yesterday, rather? It was all pointless talk. Nothing that really mattered. I mean, if a teacher was liking kids at my school, I think it'd matter. But so at some point, I stopped listening to what people were talking about. I didn't need anyone to talk to. I didn't need to waste my time like that. No. That feels like so long ago. Now I'm attending my first year of high school. With all the free time on my hands during middle school, I spent a lot of time studying. So I did really well on the exam. I ended up taking the entrance exam for a more prestigious school than most of my classmates. Once again, those who I had known had completely faded from my life. I met with rows upon rows of unknown faces. I had forgotten what it was like to not know anyone's face or name. Sure, wasn't like I had left any friends behind anyway. Knowing everyone's name had made things convenient. At least I could address people properly. I didn't know if I had the energy or will to even try to learn everyone's name now. Man, what a pain. Before I had the motivation of making friends, but now I know how futile that is now. Before I realised it, the entrance ceremony for high school had ended. All the students began conversing with one another, shuffling out of the auditorium and head to homeroom. Of course, no one tried to speak to me. No one even knows I exist. Ah, my eyes! You can't just do that! My legs felt lethargic as I struggled to guide them in the direction to class. So many blank faces. I don't want to deal with this. Somehow, I find my way to class. It's the same classroom as middle school, actually. I didn't mention school all the way back here. Seems most of the students had managed to find the class before me, and had already taken their seats. I'm conversing loudly, waiting for the teacher to arrive. I spot an isolated desk in the back corner of the room. The seats in front and beside it are both still vacant. Seeking the quietest place to sit, I place my seat on the isolated desk, separated somewhat from the rest of the class. Everyone is talking so loudly, it's giving me a headache. Can't they just wait patiently? I lay my head down on the desk and wait. A few moments later, I hear some shuffling directly in front of me, and I raise my head from my desk to discern the cause. Woman! Woman! A girl drops her pack on top of the desk in front of me and sits in the chair. Another unknown, nameless face. I hope she's not the boisterous type. That's just what I needed this early in the morning. Oh God, she developed a face.
Hi, my name is Cheryl. Let's be good friends, okay?
My name's Alan. Alan. What, is she talking to me? I slowly look around for anyone else nearby whom this woman might be addressing. But my desk was in the back corner of the room. It was just the two of us. She wants to be friends? Good friends? What? Those inviting words seem so strange to me now. I seem to recall days long after when friends were made so easily. Let's be friends was all it took. But things aren't so simple anymore. Friends are made that easily now. I don't know her. She doesn't know me. We can't be friends. Not really. Doesn't she understand that?
Hello?
Oh, I guess it took a little too much time to think there. She probably thinks I'm weird now or something. Not that it matters. Sorry, I really didn't know. I really don't think that would work out.
Why do you say that? We haven't even met before.
Exactly.
What?
I guess she really doesn't get it. We've never met before. We can't be friends. You don't know a single thing about me.
But what's your name?
My name? It's a very good movie. No, it's called Your Name. Crap, wrong. A little surprised at the change of subject, I stutter. With a large grin, she looks at me and answers.
Yes, your name, you know, if any people call you. What is it?
Wasn't very funny, but I smiled slightly. Alan! That's my name.
Okay, Alan! Now we've met, and now I know at least one thing about you. Your Name, which is a very good movie.
My name, that doesn't mean anything. In fact, I think I know something else about you too.
Oh, crap, I did wrong voice.
Oh, and what's that?
That you're a very nice guy. How would I possibly know that?
A nice guy? What's that supposed to mean? How can she even say that? We only just met. Pointless flattery, that's all it is, but it felt kind of nice to hear it. Thanks, Cheryl? Cheryl smiles lightly again and retakes her seat. Shortly after, the teacher shuffles through the doorway and class begins. I've never been so happy in my life. The cafeteria is so crowded. Every table is occupied. Even the atrium next to the cafeteria is brimming with students. So many people, I just want to be alone. I wander the halls aimlessly, looking for a good place where I can sit down and eat quietly. I come to a door with the words Roof Access inscribed on it. It's probably locked, but I don't see anywhere else to go. I place my hand on the knob and give it a turn. To my surprise, the knob turns easily, and the door cracks open. It's dark and musty inside, but I enter anyway. After climbing some old cement stairs, I exit through a door and find myself on the roof. Why are the roofs always so easy to access in Japan? I'm assuming that's what this is. Every single time. A cold breeze blows, playing with the tufts of my hair. I can hear a few students conversing and laughing far away, but other than that it's silent. Not a single student in sight. I breathe a heavy sigh and sit down to enjoy my lunch in solitude. I hear the door creak behind me, followed by light footsteps coming towards me. Just when I was finally alone, I turn around to find the girl from homeroom heading my way. Cheryl, if I recall correctly. Woman.
Hi, Alan! How are you?
Cheryl greets me politely. She's down next to me. Oh, I'm alright. I drone. Why do people ask that question, how are you? No one really cares. No one wants to know.
Really?
I look at Cheryl's face and see a distinct look of concern. Very concerned. What?
Alright, you'd be really alright? You sounded kind of sad when you said it, and I wondered if you really meant it.
I pause and look at Carol's concerned face for a moment, then hesitantly respond. Yeah, I mean, yes, I meant it. Sorry, I'm kind of a distant sometimes. The concern in Cheryl's face flees as she quickly beams a smile.
That's okay. You must be really a deep thinker. You must be really smart.
Right, yeah. I am smart, thank you for that. I start to unpack my lunch I brought, and seeing what I'm doing, Cheryl starts unpacking her lunch as well. Is she really planning on eating with me?
Do you mind if I eat with you?
How did you know what I was thinking? What? No. No, go ahead, fine. And so we both begin eating together.
So, do you have any brothers or sisters?
No, I'm the only child.
Oh. Do you have any pets?
No, my father won't allow it. All of the food and the clean-up and the healthcare, he says that they aren't worth the trouble. But you know, I have always wanted. What am I doing? Why am I talking about this? None of this stuff matters.
You always wanted...
A woman. It's nothing. I know his slight frown crosses her face, and he quickly leaves.
How about hobbies? Are you gonna join any clubs?
No. What's with the third degree?
I'm sure gonna talk to this guy. Well, I'm going to join the crochet club. My mom taught me how to crochet several years ago. It's pretty fun. You learn how to make lots of cool stuff, and by joining the club, I'll get to make lots of new friends.
Mother. Look! I stand up abruptly into my baked shell. Why are you even telling me this? It's not like any of it matters to me. Why are you even here? It's not like we're friends or anything. Why don't you just leave me alone?
But we are friends.
That's right. Don't be ridiculous. We can't be friends. We've never been friends before. Why would we start being friends now?
Well, everyone needs a friend.
I don't. I don't need anybody. I'm perfectly fine by myself. Look at me, eating on the roof by myself. I'm fine. She also walks around me to face me again, look into my eyes.
You don't want to be my friend?
I don't need anyone. I don't. I'm fine by myself, but is this what I actually want? Don't I want a friend? Isn't that what I've always wanted? It's not, I just... It's not about what I want, is it? I can't have what I want. So why chase after it? It would be pointless.
What is it? What's on your mind? That giant, intelligent mind?
Cheryl's questioning eyes are too hard to look at, so I turn my head to break eye contact. I can still feel her staring at me. Please just leave. Her face is moving. Look at it. Cheryl begins to phrase several words in her mouth, trying to find something to say, but in the end decides to say nothing. Oh, no, she still have emotion after all. With a somber look, Carol turns away, walking towards the door, placing a hand on the knob. Sadly not my knob. Not the character in the game, not me, Cannon. She pauses for a moment. Mustering a smile, she turns to look at me.
Enjoy your lunch. That's all.
Cheryl disappears behind the door as it closes behind her. Silence envelops me, and once again I am left alone. Standing there by myself, a familiar feeling I had almost forgotten seemed to drop its weight on me once again. I look down at my lunch and consider eating, only to realize I don't feel so hungry anymore. I set my lunch aside and gaze off into the distant horizon. Am I... Alan? Wrong? Oh, there's multiple chapters. I fall on my back and collapse on my bed, staring aimlessly at the ceiling. I try not to think about it, but in the end it's futile. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. I shout, but verbalizing it doesn't help. What's going through her mind? Doesn't she realize? Doesn't she realize we can be friends? Not really, anyway. True friends are friends who have been together since they can remember. They shared precious experiences and made unforgettable memories. That's what binds people together. Without that bond, people have no reason to stick together. They have no reason to be friends. But Carol wanted to be my friend. Why would she want to be my friend? I'm not good looking. I'm very ugly, actually. I'm not popular. Let's be really obvious. We don't even know each other. My name? Yeah, she knows my name. Big deal. Name doesn't mean anything. I learned all of my classmates' names before and it was useless. I agonized over these thoughts for several minutes, but failed to come to any sort of conclusion about anything. I slowly started to recall all the various questions Carol asked me on the roof. My family, pets, hobbies. Was she trying to learn about me? Was she trying to make up for an empty past? Maybe she thinks that if you learn enough about a person, you can become friends. Real friends. Is Carol right? Am I wrong? Have I spent the last 3 years alone for no reason? I don't know. I sat upon my bed and began to contemplate more intensively. Up till now, I've had no reason to doubt my beliefs. Everyone I've met has reinforced my perception of the world. But Carol, she's different. Of course she is. She's unlike anyone I've ever met before. I don't think I was wrong before, but now perhaps the rules are changing. Maybe we can become friends we both want to. What am I talking about? It's crazy. I met a girl for 1 day, exchanged a few words, and the entire world changes? That's completely irrational. It doesn't make any sense. It happens. But what if she's right? We really can become friends. Isn't it worth giving it a chance and trying to find out? I certainly remember my reaction to Carol's kindness, and my hope plummets. She probably doesn't even want to be friends with me anymore. Who would? The way I treated her. I suddenly realized that my words, my actions, attitudes, they were just how I was treated 3 years ago. Seeking a friend, I reached out to those around me, but I was only met with rejection. It was so painful to reach out so desperately for a friend, only to be shunned and ignored. Did I make Cheryl feel like that? I must have. She was trying so hard to be my friend, and I cold-heartedly turned her away. How could I do that? How could I act that way? How could I do so thoughtlessly? What others have done to me? I'm just like those I knew in junior high. Content with what I had. I wouldn't let others near me. I'm just like them. No, I'm worse. At least they had friends. At least they had something to hold to. Something better than me. But I've got nothing. Absolutely nothing. Besides Bill. Despite that, I still want anyone near me. How horrible it must feel to be told by someone who has nothing that you're not wanted. Yes, that's exactly what I did. Idiot. 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 I'm such an idiot. It's over. Completely over. There's just no way. No way that anyone could forgive the way I acted. I had one chance. Whatever Carol saw in me, whatever it was that made her want to be my friend, it's gone now. It has to be. Maybe there was a chance we could have been friends. Maybe. But that was before. There's no hope for that now. Ah, my eyes! Exhausted from last night's extensive pondering, I trudged to class. The lights all seemed a little dimmer, the world a little gloomier. Depressed, I collapsed into my chair. Letting out a long sigh, I tried to relax, but in the end, my depression wins over. I continued to brood. Such an idiot. Being so mean to the only one who went out of their way to be nice to me. What kind of person does that? How hard is it to return one person's kindness? It sure must be a lot easier when taking the initiative and being nice to someone you don't even know. Everyone is nice to someone. Even a jerk is nice to his friends. What's happened to me? I look down, staring at the palms of my hands. My knees are weak and arms are heavy. I curl my fingers into a fist and then release several times, attempting to assure myself that I am me. I wasn't like this before, was I? My God, you talked to a woman once. No, I wasn't. I've changed in the past 3 years. I'm not who I used to be. And I guess that means it wouldn't have worked out anyway. If I had been nice to Carol, I might have been able to trick her into being my friend. Trick? But she would have figured it out eventually. She would have realized sooner or later that I wasn't being the real me. She would have found that I actually am a disgusting person. Then I would have lost her. Right after I had gained it, the thing I wanted most would slip right through my fingers. That would have been too painful. What was that? So, things are better this way. I inadvertently saved myself out of grief. Yeah, I did the right thing. Carol walks into the room with the same smile as yesterday, like she doesn't have a care in the world. I had wondered if she had spent any time agonizing over the events of yesterday as I had. I had lost so much sleep. I felt so stressed out, but she seemed fine. She probably realized right away how pathetic I am, and decided to move on without wasting any time learning about it. She probably never talked to me again, but no one ever does anyway. So then, why's it bother me so much? Carol commences walking to her desk, the desk directly in front of mine. Too ashamed to look her in the face, I turn my head, pretend not to notice her approaching.
Good morning, Alan.
She greets me casually. Good morning. Oh. Kara smiles brightly, then takes her seat. I don't understand this. As cold as I was, she's still being friendly. Friendly? Maybe it's not too late. Maybe we can still be friends. Maybe. It's never too late, Alan. Go! There's still hope. I can't give up, not yet. I have to do something. Anything. I have to tell her. I want to be her friend. As I realize now what I must do, a mysterious change begins to overtake my body. What is this feeling? My breathing becomes deep and heavy, and everything suddenly becomes very real. The sound of air entering my body as I inhale and leaving as I exhale, the tick of the clock on the wall, and the tapping of pencils on the desks. The beat of my heart, the pulsating of the blood in my veins. My perception of all these things seemed to be greatly amplified, and most of all, I felt keenly aware of what lay before my eyes. The person sitting directly in front of me, Carol. For the most part, I never paid much attention to anyone around me. I had my business and everyone else had theirs. The fact that I was only ever near anyone didn't really matter. Generally, I ignored them, and they ignored me. I may as well have been hundreds of miles away from anyone, and I usually felt like I was. But now, I felt suddenly aware of Carol's presence. Only a few feet away, almost within arm's length, the person is there. A kind person. There is no ignoring it. I have to do something. I begin to rise slowly from my seat. I have to tell her. But what will she think? How will she react? I freeze, hovering above my desk.
Would she think, what about yesterday? I thought you didn't want any friends.
What if she laughs at me? Because she thinks I'm pathetic? Well, I am pathetic. These new fears begin to overtake me. I can't. But somewhere deep inside, I find a sense of courage that urges me forward. I can't let this opportunity slip by. If I don't do something now, I never will. I compel my legs to walk up behind Carol and open my mouth to speak. Didn't mean to skip that. I didn't say anything. My mind completely blanks, and I stand there like a fool, my mouth gaping open. What should I say? I didn't think this through enough. I'm not prepared for this. I should sit back down and think about this some more first. No, I cannot back down. It's now or never. Just say something. Anything. Spickety! Okay, I was joking. Iguana? Carol turns around and suddenly looks at me inquisitively.
Iguana?
Yes, iguana. An iguana. They don't eat very much because they're cold-blooded.
What the fuck's he on about?
And they don't make a big mess. They live in a cage. Carol looked confused. I'm such an idiot. I'm talking about iguanas. What's wrong with me? Oh my god. I can't even talk sensibly. Even if you understood, it wouldn't matter. No one cares about things like iguanas. Gerald doesn't care. Knowing what Gerald must think of me now, I wish I could just vanish into the wall. Perhaps being invisible wouldn't be such a bad idea. Dejected, I returned to my seat after talking about iguanas. But Gerald continues facing me. What is she thinking? Is she thinking about how weird or dumb I am? Why do I like iguanas so much? Probably.
You wanted an iguana for a pet?
Oh. She remembered? Yep. Yeah.
That's cool. What do you like about iguanas?
Cool? Are iguanas cool? Oh my god. I don't even know what an iguana looks like. Like a wind. Oh, the text has changed. Like a winter's ice at the beginning of spring, the tension in my body melted away, and everything felt surreal. Seeing Cheryl look at me with those interested eyes, I felt as though I had gained new meaning. No, not a new meaning, but an old meaning, one I had lost long ago, and so for the first time in a long time, I talked about meaningless stuff. Well, you know, they're kind of like mini dragons. I talked about meaningless things with a friend, and enjoyed every word. Fine. Several weeks. Hey, what's up?
Oh, you know, there's the same old stuff.
Oh, the map for Simon Drive? Drive you crazy again? Jerry gives me a sour look. Barely changed in triumphant pose, and Gerald pulls a few pencil smudgy papers out of her book bag. What did I just say?
It actually went pretty well, if I do say so myself.
I take the papers in my hand and quickly skim over them.
Well,
It doesn't look good.
what? I was sure I did it right. What did I mess up?
It's just the whole thing. It's just really beginning to make me worry. You are awful at this. Cheryl snatched the paper back and began intensely reviewing them. I mean, at this rate, you'll probably do better than me on the test. Cheryl immediately stops reviewing the assignment and turns her face as if to say I knew I was right.
Very funny, dickhead.
Seriously, it looks very good. You're really catching out.
Thanks. Sorks, you can explain it so well.
I blushed slightly at Cheryl's compliment.
So, how's your project going?
I flash a quick look at my book and smile slyly. It's going very nicely, actually.
Oh, really? When will I get to see it?
Very soon.
I wish you would let me see it while you work on it.
Very soon. Stop asking, I repeat for a smirk. Cheryl searched for something to counter that, but in the end, just changed the subject.
I should go outside today, okay?
Outside? Why? It's already gotten so cold.
Oh, come on, isn't that cold to be fun?
Cheryl smiles widely, emotionless, without thought. Yeah, sure we can be outside. The normal spot, right? I can never say no when she looks at me with that smile, like she does. Even if it was the dead of winter, I feel like I wouldn't be able to say no if she insisted. It's a sign of weakness, I don't know, but if she has fun, then it will be enough.
Yeah, these were please. Oh, and you won't need to buy anything. I brought us both hot soup.
She brought hot soup? How'd she keep that in the bag? How does she keep that in the bag without going everywhere? That's how soup works. I knew she was going to say yes. She must have known I can't refuse her. Are Julie and Dave going to come?
No, I've already talked to them and they won't be coming.
Oh, okay, so it could be us then.
Yes.
It would have sounded as if she was happy with it would be us, but I felt like it must have been wishful thinking. Dive! I crack open the large door and a rush of cool air blows at my feet. So cold. I step out on the roof where Cheryl is waiting.
You made it!
Yeah, I know the upstairs is, you idiot. She always acts like that, as if she's surprised I show up even though I told her I would. It's not like I get lost or anything.
Right, I was just a little worried. You might change your mind.
Change my mind? I miss only someone than Miss Cheryl's famous hot soup. Not a chance.
Miss Cheryl?
A cold breeze blows by, chilling my arms and legs. Though it is a bit cold. I wish they'd changed to winter uniforms already. Cheryl smiles as she hands me a steaming thermos. I open the lid and a steady stream of steam continues billowing out the top.
Well, that should wind you up for now.
I tilt my head back and take a sip. The warm liquid flows inside me, slowly warming up my entire body. Oh yeah, this stuff is great. Best cheaper I've ever had. How is it still hot though? Like, you know, it's been like 4 hours since weekend at school. How have you heated this up?
Don't be silly. Don't ask questions like that.
Cheryl laughed slightly. Perhaps from a culinary standpoint it wasn't the best soup, but Cheryl had made it just for me. And while I stood there in the cold weather with the heat of Cheryl's body radiating through my body, I confidently thought to myself that I'd never tasted anything more delicious. So why do you want to eat out here today?
I just thought we should do something special. You know? The same thing we do every day. It's not very special, is it?
Something special? What do you mean?
I figured we won't be coming out here anymore, because it's getting cold and all. So I thought, why not do something special we can remember?
All the time we had lunch out here. With a sigh of relief, Cheryl turns to me and smiles.
Yeah, our lunch is together.
Seems like so long ago now, doesn't it? Since we first met.
It sure does. Many things have changed since then.
Yeah, I sure have.
Mahi didn't even want to talk to me.
Yeah, well, it's like you said, a lot has changed. I can't help but blush. How I acted in the beginning. It always embarrassed me to think about how he looked at Cheryl and finally looking closely at my face.
Are you blushing?
But what are you talking about? It's the cold wind. It always makes my cheeks red like this. Have you not heard of that, you idiot? Shut up. Cheryl raises his hand to her mouth and chuckles softly. But what?
Oh, nothing. You're so funny sometimes.
I smile slightly and a warm feeling begins to glow inside. I always feel like this when she tells me I'm funny. Sometimes I'm not sure if it's a compliment or an insult, but she always looks so happy when she says it. But there's no other feeling like knowing she's happy because of me. Cheryl wanders slowly over to the railing and gazes wistfully over the school grounds. I follow Carol's lead, take a place right next to her at the railing. She seems sad somehow. Alan! The school seemed... the girls, oh my god, the school sure seems smaller now, doesn't it?
Yeah, it was big at first. Now it seems so familiar.
We both spend a moment in silence, looking over the railing. Cheryl always carried on the conversation. Whenever I wasn't feeling well and didn't want to talk, whenever there was a big lag in the conversation, Cheryl always knew what to say. She always said it. So now, in a moment of silence, I'm not sure what to say. It kind of feels peaceful to be alone here with Carol. It's sort of like we're still communicating, but without words. So we both stand, enjoying silence, eating our soup and gazing across the horizon. After several minutes, Cheryl breaks the silence with a whisper.
What decides you people are?
What a strange question. Cheryl's never asked me anything like that before. We never talked about the philosophical or the metaphysical. I don't even know if she thought about such things. I thought she was an idiot. I thought it was one of our big differences.
Alan! Interesting question. That's the wrong voice.
You know what? People decide who they are, Carol. People. People are the masters of their own character. Other factors may play a role, but ultimately the choice of who someone is rests entirely on themselves.
But what if a person's life is really tough? Do you think it's still possible for them to become who they want to be?
It'll be harder. But if they know who they want to be and they want it more than anything, then yes. Carol smiles slowly.
I think so too. Who do you want to be?
Who do I want to be? I knew the answer instantly, but before I knew it was something I could never tell anyone, especially Cheryl. The Prime Minister, obviously, of course. I mean, it's just Boris is my inspiration, you know. Cheryl laughs slightly and gives my shoulder a nudge.
Oh, come on, be serious.
I am being serious. You laugh at me now, you want to pull me to my cabinet. Both laugh together in this cool fall air, followed by a period of short silence. Lunch break is almost over, and we both know it. It's a shame we'll have to go back to classes soon.
Thank you for coming outside today. I feel I would always remember this day.
Yeah, I had fun too. And the soup was great, really. Don't know how you got it here, though. Like steaming hot soup? Where'd you keep it in your bag? How'd you keep it upright? How did it not spill? What? You're not carrying it around? I don't understand.
Thanks.
Right, you're not going to answer my question?
No, shut up.
Doesn't seem like she doesn't know what to say. Now it'll be a great time. Fine left in the classroom. I glance down at Carol. She seems preoccupied with something. Lost in deep thought? Cheryl looks up at me abruptly.
Yeah. That's supposed to be your job, isn't it?
I smile. I was always the one keeping deep thoughts hidden, but now our roles seem somehow reversed. It was a bit of a sweet feeling. Now it's my turn to ask. So, what's on your mind, Carol? Carol ponders the question thoughtfully for responding.
Yes.
That's not an answer. Carol smiles peacefully, and all her deep thoughts appear to vanish from her face.
Yes, that is the right answer. Thank you, Alan.
I feel a bit bewildered I somehow solved the problem, but glad nonetheless. Yep, sure, anytime, yeah, sure. The bell rings, the next period rings, we both know we must get going to our separate classes. I open the door, and we both walk back inside school. Ah! The warm air rushes to greet us, and immediately warms us from our extended stay inside. Outside, we both can walk side by side towards our classrooms. It was a slower walk than I was used to. The kind you might take through the park on a warm day. It was as if every step was something to enjoy, definitely not how I viewed walking. Quickly getting from where I was to where I needed to be, that was the objective. But Cheryl never walked that way. She always took her time. No rush.
No rush, she always said to me.
First, I had to consciously slow down so I wouldn't pass her up, and then got separated in the crowd. But now it felt natural to walk this way when she's near. Before I knew it, we've come to a hall where we split up. Maybe we weren't walking slowly enough.
You're coming to club today, right?
Yep, I'll be there. See you later then.
See you. Yeah, cool, bye.
We quickly wave in different directions. Maybe a concerted effort, I continue to walk towards class, hopefully pacing, each foot in front of the other. I open the door to club and walk inside. I scan the room to see if Cheryl had come yet, but she's nowhere around. Some of the other girls sat there though, so I greet them. Alan! Hey Julie, Melissa, Christine, what's up?
What's going on?
Oh, pretty good. Glad Casts are finally over for the day. Before I make my way across the room, I find her sitting next to me. Next to everyone. Julie comes up to me and asks me in a low whisper about my project.
So, you finished it, right?
I slowly smile and finger the red package in my book bag.
You're going to do it today, right?
Yep, I'm planning on doing it. Hopefully nothing happens to make me lose my nerve, though.
Just fine. This is the part of the story where something really sad happens.
Thanks. That's for everything I mean.
Yeah, no problem. Good luck. It's not going to end well.
Both sit down with the other girls. Oh, God, what's going to happen? Why'd you say that? Reaching into my book, I pull out my crochet hooks and half-finished mitten. What? Oh! Crocheting the art of trying loops into a thread to create a blanket or some articles of clothing. Maybe it's a bit girly, but I'm the only guy in the club. And the only other guys poke fun sometimes, but that's alright. It's kind of relaxing. Gives me the time to chat with Carol and Julie and the other girls.
So, those looking pretty nice. Where did she get the pattern?
They came from one of Gerald's books, I think.
It did!
Gerald walks in, smiling as usual. Setting her peg down, she takes a seat next to mine.
Well, my mother's book to be exact.
Oh, your mother's. Did she ever make you a pair of mittens like that?
Well, Julie, why are you still whispering? I'm right here. Yeah, that's the same pattern. I use them, in fact.
Oh, when it's finished, maybe you two will have a matching pair. I instantly blush and found my hook. All the other girls instantly look up to see our reaction.
Yeah, why are you whispering? I hadn't thought about that.
Jo simply smiles. Doesn't she ever get embarrassed? Well, that's only if I ever finish something. Seems wrong, I can't figure it out.
Oh, would you like some help?
Sometimes you need to lend someone your shoulder. Or take their shoulder. Yeah, could you... This patch doesn't seem to work. Carol takes the mittens in hand and examines the handiwork.
Looks like you're missing a couple of slip stitches here.
I skip my eyes, see where Joe is pointing. Oh, I think I see. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Carol hands the mitten back and I begin fixing the yarn I made. We all talk casually as we continue our work. As I weave my hook in and around the yarn, I can't help but realize similarities. In my hand, I'm tying threads, weaving links together, to make something stronger than it was before. Threads that were once useless and are suddenly bound together tightly in the form of something useful, something beautiful. I look over to Carol and see her hard work weaving a hook in and out, and I breathe a heavy sigh. Yes, tying threads. The bond between strangers is a weak one. I was right about that. Things don't need to remain that way. That's when I was wrong. Crocheting begins with a simple slip knot. Slip knot! And making friends begin with a simple hello. A beginning isn't much, but it's beginning all the same. All great things must have a beginning, so you have to embrace each new opportunity. Otherwise, you might miss the opportunity in life that would be most important to you. And you never know when things might come. They may never come. When you're just a child, first experiencing the world. Or it may come at the sunset of life, after you thought you had learned everything. There is always room to grow, people to meet, and things to learn. That's what Cheryl has taught me. Gazing at her next to me, my heart seemed well up inside of me. You are my greatest beginning, I feel, as if to say. It's a bit weird. This yearning deep inside me, this desire to tell her all the feelings in my heart. It's almost overpowering at times. Sometimes I feel like I'm on the cusp of another new beginning. In those moments, time stands still, and a wealth of opportunity beckons even the slightest of action. One word, one look, one touch. That's all it would take to convey my feelings. But what would happen then? Would he just push her away? Thoughts of Cheryl drifting away from me float through my hazy mind. It's a fear that won't stop me. As close as I've come to telling her, as much as I want to, I can never bring myself to. Someday, I tell myself, someday I will tell her. Until then, I know enjoys being next to her. I glance over at Carol again, and a sense of tranquility distills upon me. A boy in a crochet club, my idea seems so out of place, and yet, sitting next to Carol, relaxing, tying threads. I feel as though I've never belonged anywhere else but more. After a few hours, we decided to call it a day. Everyone packs up their things and we start to head home. Oh, it's got colour! Isn't this where you were walking in middle school, Lloyd? This is... the continuity is not right here. Carol and I step out into the corporate care. We don't live near each other, but we both catch train at the same time. It's nice being able to walk to the station together at the end of the day. It makes everything complete somehow. I look around, taking note of the dim sky. It isn't too late. It's only 5 PM. And there are clouds out. It seems to be that time of year when the sun starts setting earlier. Joe and I walk side by side towards the train station. Once again, Joe falls silent, and we walk together in the quiet of the evening. Why is Carol so quiet today? I don't take the feeling that something is horribly wrong. And if something is wrong, why can't you just tell me? We're friends, aren't we? And friends discuss their problems. I focus my vision on Carol's eyes, knowing a tinge of sadness. Carol returns my gaze, and our eyes meet again. I maintain my inquiring stare, and Carol breaks eye contact. She must know that I've realised something is wrong. But not knowing what exactly to say, we both continue to walk in silence. It's times like these when I realise just how little I know about people and about life. Something's bothering Cheryl. I'm positive. I don't have any idea what it might be. But worse, I don't even know how to ask. We continue to walk in silence, my worry for Carol growing with every step, until finally I can't stand it anymore. Something bothering you, Carol? What is it? Cheryl stops dead in her tracks and shifts her gaze downwards. I turn around to face her and wait patiently for her answer. White snow. Oh, it's snowing! White snow begins to fall lightly from the sky. Everything is calm and quiet, and then a single tear begins to trickle down Cheryl's cheek. What? Cheryl, what's wrong? Is she crying? That can't be, but the glistening of the tear falling down her face was unmistakable. I immediately feel my whole heart pour out of Carol. I've never seen her cry before. Carol, what's the matter? Why are you crying? Stop it! Carol can only manage to sob quietly. She continues to focus her gaze at the ground. I place my hands gently on Carol's shoulder. Carol?
I'm sorry.
Say about what? You haven't done anything to apologise for.
No, I'm leaving.
Leaving? What are you talking about? For the first time since she started crying, Cheryl looks up at me. Our eyes meet, and watching the steady streams of tears flow from her eyes to her chin, my heart is pierced to the centre.
I'm leaving the country. Tonight is the last night we'll see each other.
What the fuck? Why didn't you tell this before? Cheryl's words hit me with the force of a bullet train. What? I stumble backwards, reeling from the reality of what I just heard. She's leaving? I said that out loud. In a few fleeting moments, these words destroy everything.
I'm sorry, Alan. It was her son. I didn't even know myself until just recently.
I should have expected. Yep, I thought this would happen. No! No! What about Dave? It happened before. Of course it would happen again. Why should Cheryl be any different? In the end, people are destined to be alone. It's futile to try and avoid it. I was a fool to think anything would ever change. Goodbye, I callously say as I turn my back and begin heading for the train, leaving her behind. I won't be fooled again. Never again. I heard a wavering voice call out to me.
Alan, please, don't do this.
At this desperate plea, only one thought, but my mind floats to the service. You'll probably catch cold if you stay outside crying in this weather too long. I say without so much as glancing back, then with an apathy that seems somehow nostalgic. Not that it's any of my business. I glance at my watch. 5 minutes before the next train arrives. I should be able to make it. I pick up my pace, deftly and quickly placing one foot in front of the other. Relationship, love, what a farce. People are destined to be alone. They may try to deny it, or try to escape from it, but in the end it's all futile. Isolation will catch them eventually, and when it does, everything in the world that mattered will be torn away. I don't need anybody. I'm perfectly fine by myself. There's different endings. Wow, I'll give them like 2 different options. What?
Oh, Carol,